Finally, after so long, someone has finally done it. They've made a game where you play as a cat and do cat things. They've appealed to the mass audience of cat lovers and gone out to craft a title of the ages. A game where you can meow at random objects and live out all your cat fantasies that you've desired to live your entire life. No longer are you shackled to the bonds of human society, but now make your own rules in the lawless land of cats, knocking things off shelves, sleeping anywhere, having zoomies at 3 a.m. and annoying people. It's all now possible for you to do and experience. It's Stray. I'm talking about the game Stray by Blue 12 Studio. I have to be honest with you, when I saw the trailer for this a year or so back, I was genuinely curious about what it was going to be like. It was an extremely simple concept. You play as a cat and explore a cyberpunk looking world. Neat. Luckily, I was reached out to and given a review key for this game, for PC mind you specifically, allowing me to really get it done and go through everything Stray had to offer before launch. So the question is, was being a cat and doing cat things as fun as these simple ideas sounds? The short answer is yes, but let me break it down for you. Bear in mind, however, that because this is primarily a story-driven exploration game, that I can only explain so much without ruining the plot, so this may be a shorter review, but I'll do my best to elaborate on the cat life in all of its glory. Your story begins with you being a cat. You're living the cat life, doing cat things, hanging out with cat friends. Life's great. However, this life of perfection you live is a short one, with the entire crux of the game being you separated from the other cats and struggling to work your way back home. Along the way, you'll encounter many interesting characters and make new friends, all in the pursuit, get it, pursuit, of escaping the underground you ended up in and reuniting with your beloved cat family. Stray's environment, graphics, and general visual storytelling is probably the best that I've seen in a long time in an exploration game. The world is finally crafted and all ties into itself perfectly, with most of your context clues coming from looking around in the area you're in. Neon signs decorate everything as you progress through, with the idea behind them being that this is the citizens' attempts at hiding the bleak, horrible canvas that they've painted on. There's lush amounts of vegetation tied in as well to hide the background, giving you a sense of hope while you navigate through treacherous locations. You're able to just tell what's been going on in each new area you get into by just looking around, without the need for massive amounts of exposition or dialogue to support it. Most interactions with characters support the visual storyteller idea, with a lot of the NPCs simply giving you one-liners or telling you to look around and see for yourself. It's worth mentioning that all navigation hints and secret locations are pointed at through these use of visual signs and indicators, very cleverly I might add, further encouraging you to drink in everything around you when you're in any place, be it large or as small as a closet. Honestly, I learned so much about the world by exploring and really taking in the sights, and there's a lot of them. And by doing this, I came to appreciate the experience all the more with the effort that clearly went into that aspect. Stray's soundtrack is also a banger and tied into what's going on in the moment during the story. I have absolutely no complaints about it. I wouldn't listen to it on its own, but with the gameplay happening, damn, it was good. The graphics themselves are top notch for a game like this. They're well done but not overbearing, and at no point did they ever distract me from what I was doing. There were no FPS drops, although I admit I have a 3090, and at no point did I see any glitches or crash in any regard. From a technical standpoint, the game was flawless, just tossing that in there real quick. Where Stray really shines though is the gameplay. There's just something magical about being a cat and enjoying all the simple cat tropes that come with it. Doing things like scratching up furniture, playing with toys on the ground, meowing randomly to startle people, it's just all so relaxing. My favorite thing about the cat mechanics was just how vastly different the characters and NPCs respond to your meowing, with their expressions so entirely adorable and enjoyable to witness. In fact, these same cat-like mechanics are used to progress in multiple locations to find various secrets, which encourages you to be even more like a cat than you previously had wanted. One secret, for example, requires you to knock paint cans off shelves by gently batting at them to create a mess, causing the owner to come and clean it while you sneak in and grab a memory. Speaking of memories, there's Stray's version of collectibles. They're scattered around the world in various locations. Most are incredibly easy to come by if you just play the game and explore even a minor amount, but others aren't. You'll definitely want to put the effort in to find them, as they do make changes to certain things. I'd love to explain more of what memories are to a better degree, but I refuse, as it's pretty pivotal to a story point that you should discover by yourself. Like I was saying, living the carefree life of a cat in this game just hits different. I found myself jumping up to random places and wanting to just experience everything I could with these mechanics, trying constantly to do new things and find hidden areas by thinking like a cat, really getting into the mindset of a cat. I seriously mean it, no meme here, it's incredible. Everything that you do in Stray is entirely designed around how a cat would approach it and not a human, making me laugh several times throughout with just how incredibly charming it is. You also get various gadgets and tools unlocked through your playthrough that slightly vary up your cat antics, all positives, never really letting the core gameplay of cat-like behavior getting old or wearing out its welcome. I just love it, seriously. It's so simple yet so complex in how it's utilized that I wanted more. I found myself playing through the entire game twice. Stray's Corp gameplay just let me shut my brain off and enjoy the experience, which not a lot of games let you do anymore. As far as puzzle difficulty and problem goes in Stray, it's not too far over the top. There's certainly a few skill check locations that require you to have precise timing, but other than that, they're simple and easy for anyone to complete. You've got your push buttons and order puzzles, you've got your knock things over puzzles, your reposition puzzles, and chain response puzzles, all standard fare and well done with the cat theme. At no point did I ever struggle to comprehend what I was supposed to do, and I never felt that they were too easy, so there was a good balance there for sure. There's also your standard fare of stealth mechanics to avoid danger, and yes, there's a lot of danger in this game, which were all done tastefully and never overstayed their welcome. In a lot of story explanation games, you're bombarded with way too many stealth situations, but that was not the case in the slightest with Stray. It was all topical and well implemented while being tied into what was going on story-wise. It was done A+ for sure. Speaking of danger, the enemies that you encounter at certain points are cool and also tied heavily into explaining what's going on in broader terms of the story. They're never super intrusive or annoying in the slightest and exist to push you forward, although I will absolutely give you the warning that some of the death scenes are hard to watch. I can't think of the last game I played where I was dreading dying because I didn't want to see the main character hurt, and every time I watched my poor kitty become deceased, it genuinely bothered me. When talking bang for your buck, Stray kind of delivers. I kind of went back and forth on this for a while because while the story and the experience are incredibly enjoyable, the game is pretty short. It's short enough that there's an actual achievement for beating it in less than 2 hours, and in my opinion, unless you miss something, there's absolutely no replayability to be had here. For all intents and purposes, Stray is a one and done sort of game, an experience that you play through and incredibly enjoy that leaves you wanting more, especially since it's so fleeting and quick if you're even slightly competent at being a cat. An average player will get roughly 8 to 10 hours out of it if you do everything, with individuals who don't particularly care about finding all the secrets easily clearing it in less than 6. At a cost of $27, that might be too high for such a short experience, for some people, but to me at least, I'd consider it fair value. The amount of love and time that went into the game is obvious, and the experience is great, even if it's far shorter than what you'd hope for. With all this said, I think it's time for me to break Stray down as I do with every game and give you the final score. Gameplay gets a 10 out of 10. One of the best and unique experiences I've had in a game in forever. This genre will be defined by this game of cat-based games. Story gets a 9 out of 10. It's so good, just too short. I loved the world and everything about it. It was just so short. It could have been a 10 if it was a couple hours longer. Graphics get a 9 out of 10. They're missing RTX and better lighting options, but overall they're superb. The visual storytelling is solid. Audio gets a 10 out of 10. There are so many context clues from audio and so much ambience, and the music also slaps. And finally, value gets a 6 out of 10. It's a very short game, and for $27, a lot of people might have issues with this. It's not bad, it's just not great. All of this said and done, I'm going to give Stray as a whole a 9 out of 10 with a definite suggestion that you pick it up. I loved this game. It's definitely going into one of my all-time favorite slots and is a contender for game of the year just based on how it feels and the smiles I got while I played through. There's not much more to say. Go pick up Stray. Play it, love it, enjoy it, be a cat. Great job to the developers, and I will definitely be playing anything else that's added to the game. I want a sequel so bad. I want DLC so bad. I want it. I want more. Anyway, that's it for this review. Let me know what you personally thought of it in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and like it. Feel free to share it with friends and help word of this channel get out. Every little bit is appreciated. Until the next video, this is Delrith, and I'll be seeing you. Bye.